Illnesses are often associated with symptoms that you can see. However, some have an illness that can remain hidden and strike at the most unlikely and unexpected of times. Neil Wilkinson is 56 and a civil servant from Sunderland. In 2014, he headed to the pub to watch the derby between Sunderland and Newcastle. Is a loyal football fan for most of his life.
Okay, it was the 1st of February 2014. Sunderland were away at Newcastle United. The match wasn't being screened on TV, it was only on foreign channels. So that day, I went with my daughter and my wife to the local pub to watch the game. We watched the match on TV screens in the local hotel. Sunderland scored 2 early goals. I think they were leading 2-0 after about 15 or 20 minutes. I got quite excited at that, and I started to feel a little bit ill 2 or 3 minutes later, which I thought was just a strain of some kind because my chest was hurting. But it became obvious very quickly that it just wasn't that, it was something more than that. I became very hot and distressed, and it actually got to half time. My wife and my daughter went to the bar, left us where I was. And then I began to realise that this was something serious and it wasn't going away.
Unexpectedly and without any prior warnings, he suffered a heart attack and was saved only by a quick response and help from Specialist Heart Unit at the Freeman Hospital.
The whole thing was totally unexpected. I hadn't had any signs of having a bad heart or never even thought about having a heart attack. Certainly didn't think that would happen to me. But then again, I don't know what signs you have before you have a heart attack. I certainly wouldn't have thought I was the prime candidate for having a heart attack. I'm pretty fit, didn't smoke, drank to moderation, certainly not overweight. So it was a big shock, still is.
Stephanie Tatters is 25 and a nursery officer at Brunton Dade Nursery. After experiencing unbearable and unexplainable pain, she went to the doctors and was diagnosed with arthritis.
So I first thought that I had something wrong when I was waking up in bed and I was really sore and I couldn't move, I couldn't get out of bed, I couldn't get down the stairs. It was hurting us to open doors, lift the kettle. Just daily activities were getting really hard for us, so I had to go to the doctors and they transferred me to rheumatology clinic where they diagnosed me with rheumatoid arthritis in all my joints.
Although an illness that you can't see, Stephanie experiences a lot of pain and often has to explain her condition to people given the lack of symptoms that you can see.
I had to go on a course of steroids, injections, and they put me on a drug called methotrexate, which is an ex-cancer drug, which had to be accompanied by folic acid, with the drug being that strong. This condition affects me in everyday life. I've struggled getting out of the bath, struggle getting up and down at work, struggle with even getting undressed or getting dressed. And just doing things, normally driving sometimes hurts my wrists, lifting the kettle, doing laundry, housework, hoovering, and at work as well. Like, some people might think it's an invisible illness, some people might look at me and think there's actually nothing wrong, but when they start seeing me do daily activities and trying to do things that normal people would do, they can see that there clearly is a problem.
Illness does need to be visible to strike, and for more information on the conditions, you can visit bhf.org.uk and arthritisresearchuk.org.